Hello, everybody, and welcome to Comedy Cellar Tuesdays with me, Dave Jusko and Mike Suarez. It is December 3rd. We are remote again today, but as you know, or you don't know, I'm telling you, next week we will be in studio with Dave Attell, Russ Maneve, and our friend Nick Griffin. But for this week, hello, everybody, and welcome. It is very, very chilly. I cannot get warm in my own apartment. I do not want to turn on the heat yet. Any of you have ever, if you don't know about living in New York City, once you turn the heat on, it just lasts forever, and it's hard to manipulate. And I am terrified to turn on the heat, and just because then it gets too hot, and I feel like it's going to get warm next week. But right now, I am freezing in my own apartment, and I'm just trying to layer up. I tried to get a new jacket yesterday. But it had weird strings on the middle of it. It was weird, so I just sent it back. I need a new winter jacket because Saturday I was riding the bike down in Manhattan, all the way down, and it was freezing. And my other jacket the zipper started coming up from the bottom, like it opens, the really annoying thing that happens to you when your jacket's dying. And I was going down the bike lane around the Wall Street area, and there was a whole bunch, like 40 pigeons, because they have all these food trucks that they just put all their food on the street. This was at 7:30 in the morning, and some pigeons flew into my jacket while I was going because it was flapping up. It was fucking horrible. I got to get a new jacket. So, and JWB 671, you are the worst. He's like, it's 80 in Hawaii, guys. Shut up. You bastard. Anyway, hi Marcy, hi Anonymous, hi everybody. So nice to see everybody. This is the Comedy Cellar Tuesdays, and just so you know, we're here to always promote the great Comedy Cellar. If tonight you were in New York City, which you should be at this time of the year, I'm going to recommend coming to New York City, because normally after January you don't want to be here. But if you went to the Fat Black Pussycat tonight, not the I think it's the lounge, right? The Fat Black is, Mike, that's where you do your Robert shows, right? Yeah. Tonight at 8:30, you got Matt Richards hosting. He's terrific. He's an incredible magician, by the way. You got Nathan McIntosh, Maddie Weiner, who's incredible. I've been trying to get her on this show, but it's hard to reach. Rich Francesi, who's horrible but hilarious, and that's Harrison Greenbaum, who I saw last night. We got to go see his magic show. Todd Barry and Andrew Fiore, all on one show. So that is a good time. And in Vegas, you have Mike Finola, who we know, who's a friend of the Cellar. And, of course, Mark Coco Cohn, who I just saw on an old 80s TV show. Anyway, before I go on to do anything else, let me introduce our guest today, our friend and my co-host, Molly Heckerling, everybody.
Ahoy, hoy.
We were talking before, so then I was just thinking we were talking before the show and having a really nice time because Molly is the best and everyone knows it.
Oh, hush. We were talking about depressing politics, but it's lovely talking about depressing things with you.
Yeah, I know. Well, you like it. You're good at that too. And that's why I like you so much because, well, you are a comic, but you have the mentality of a comic. In fact, last night we were at the Broadway Comedy Club Christmas party, which is
nice.
an awful, awful place. And, I wouldn't wish anybody there. In fact, did you used to perform there? Is that where you and Murphy met, or Chris
That's
Murphy?
where I really for all the comedy that I've done, or, taking this long ass hiatus, that's where I did most of my shows was Sheba Mason at the Broadway Comedy Club. And, I was hanging out with Chris Murphy, Eric Bronstein, Adam Strauss. This was all before Al Martin died.
Right. So that's where I started going there because Al Martin's dead, and I know his wife wants to make it better. But last night was not an indication of making it better. Last night was awful. You feel like the worst comic. I didn't mind going because I wanted to say hello to Carolyn, and I was going for wings after anyway, so it was on the way. But they were charging for alcohol at their Christmas party.
Oh, really? Charging the comics?
I said, Jesus Christ, and I yelled at her, and I'm like, is your husband still alive? Is this some sort of joke? You guys are just some sort of Andy Kaufman bit?
He would.
Kidding?
Al would
Uh,
charge the comics
of
for
course
the
he would.
drinks
That
after
makes
doing
perfect
a
sense.
night full of sets.
But if his wife is trying to change the attitude of what goes on there, well, it did not work. So
I thought his
you
daughter was running.
a comedy club between the Cellar. Let me tell you something about the Cellar and their Christmas party and how they take care of not just the comics but the staff. And the Comedy Cellar Christmas party is more for the staff, and they really take care of you. And there's beautiful, right, Mike? There's incredible
Yes.
amount of food. That's incredible. The Broadway Club had a table with some subs. But Mike, is that buffet unbelievable at the Cellar? What Liz puts together there?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Let alone all free drinks, all night games, casino games, tattoos stations, portrait. I mean, they really put it together. This was an embarrassment.
I mean, the Cellar's a cut above. That's for the comics that have already kind
I'm
of
trying to
made
tell
it.
the people here.
And Broadway comedy, I feel like, is no offense to anyone there because they've been good to
No, it's
me.
okay.
But I feel like that's where the mids are relegated to be like, can you still bring 3 friends to your 7-minute set?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's true. That's the way it is there. And I'm trying to change the culture over there. And because I think his wife, Al's wife, who's very nice, wants to change the culture. It's very embarrassing. And whatever. But nothing's like the Comedy Cellar, which I'm trying to say is like not only do you get the quality shows that you get at the Comedy Cellar, no matter what day it is or what hour or what show you're seeing in 9 shows a night, but you can, they also just they appreciate their comics and their staff. And a lot of the other clubs are not like that. You're not going to find that at the New York Comedy Club or any of Emilio's clubs or any of the other stuff. They're not going to. Yeah, I just went there.
Is Emilio the guy who runs New York Comedy Club?
Yeah.
Is Emilio? Does he like have a whole bunch of places? What are his places?
Yes, he does now. He has 2 of them. I think he just bought Stand Up New York.
Oh, that place was
Yeah, that
really
one just
depressing.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mike?
Yeah, that one just opened.
Yeah,
He
right.
has 3 in the city.
He's
the
got
one
2 in the
Bridge-
city,
Bridgeport.
and I don't know. I guess he's keeping it called Stand Up New York. Then he's got like the Atlantic City Comedy Club, and is that what you just said, Mike?
He has one in Bridgeport. It's called
The one in, right, the one in Connecticut. But I'm just mad at him. But
I'm talking shit about all these people that are never going to have me in their clubs ever again.
I don't think you have to worry about it. Everybody will have you in your clubs. You're a delight.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't even know whether you're a good stand-up or not. It doesn't matter.
I want to amass all the clips that I have from my old videos because I actually I've been told I'm good at it. I just get really bad stage fright.
Oh yeah, no, me too. That's why I don't do it as often as I probably should.
That's why you're talented. That's why you get stage
Oh,
fright.
well, that's
you
what I was
care
gonna.
so much.
That's what I was going to tell you is that when we went out with this new kid, his name's Alex something. He's a good kid, and he's just starting out. And we were explaining to him, me and Murphy were explaining to him like a real comic, because this happened with me and Rachel one time. Feinstein, we were on the road in Connecticut somewhere at this gig, and there was these other comics who were opening before I was the main opener, but they had some other people. And they were just sitting there going, oh, yeah, we crushed it last night. We killed it. We went to this place. These guys are all saying they killed it. And I said to Rachel, I'm like, these guys, because they sucked as soon as they came on. I'm like, these guys are awful. But we knew that going in because, Rachel, we know the best comics in the country. I mean, it's a fact. I personally know the best comics in the country. And the best comics in the country, I've never heard them say they kill. They're always like, it's like, the self-deprecation is what you want in a comic, besides, the ones that don't do that, and that's their gag. So that's why what I was saying is I like you because you are truly one of us, in your self-deprecation, because that is the true comic.
Thank you. Yes, I subscribe heavily to the self-loathing principle. I also, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. Anytime someone comes up to me and says like, "Oh, I'm really smart. I'm really good at this," it's like you probably ain't shit. Because if you have to tell me, then it's always people who think they're great that suck, and people who think they suck are brilliant.
That's right, and that's why when I tell people, when somebody says I'm a good person, I'm like, you can't say that about yourself. Somebody has to say that about you, dummy. That means you're obviously a horrible person.
Right.
Like, I mean, horrible. Like Olga. I'm calling everybody out today. I don't give a shit. It's funny. I tried to help our friend Olga Namer. She's a very good comic, but a self-sabotager. But she's really, really good. And she's in London this week. And I tried to help her get a spot. One of my friends runs a place called the Poodle Club. And I go, hey, you didn't get back to her. And she goes, yeah. She's not going to work out. And I'm like, why? Really? Because she's a very good comic. She doesn't know her backstory and all the baggage she brings. It's just one day. And I've always, thought she was she is a good comic. And she goes, well, I saw her tape. And she goes, and I'm like, really? You didn't like it? She goes, well, I don't mind the dick jokes. But she was making fun of people with disabilities. And I'm like, she was? Which sounds hilarious to me too. But apparently this Poodle Club is a big gay club, and as the owner said, we are extremely PC here. And that's what we're doing. And maybe all of London is like that. And it's not, it's like that here, we know. Apparently it must be worse there or something. So I guess what I think is funny that she does, I guess doesn't carry over.
It's such a crapshoot now. I never know what to expect, because it seems like in certain clubs, like things, really, oh, we don't want you saying stuff like that. And then in other places, it's like nothing's changed, and it's hard to read the room sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it must be that way in Vermont. Seriously, that's a big woke town, right?
It's weird because it's oddly split. So like you have a lot of like trans comics, you have a lot of like people who lean more towards the PC humor. And then I did go see a show at Nectar's, those two guys that run the Vermont Comedy Festival. And one of them got up and started doing Trump jokes. And a member of the audience got really mad and started talking back to the stage, complaining about Joe Biden. He and his girlfriend were getting like drunk and unruly, and they were asked to leave.
This is in Vermont.
This was in Vermont. So as they're leaving, I started applauding, and they're like, fuck you. And I'm like, fuck you too. Like, good night, like whatever. If it's not me on stage, then I'm very happy to just be like, hey, fuck you. But when that shit happens when you're on stage, it's got to be incredibly flustering. I've had someone walk out of a set because I was making fun of Louis C.K. and she got mad, which was funny because I wasn't even being that harsh about Louis. I think I was like talking about how that story where the women said he masturbated in front of them. And it was just like, they said they still had their coats on. Like, how quickly did he finish? They probably didn't have a chance to leave. You know what I mean? Where it's like, and this woman just like gets up and walks out. But I've never had someone like talk back to me.
You were just making a joke about the situation.
I was making a joke about the situation because some people were like, well, why didn't they leave? And I was just like, well, how fast did he come? Like, they might not have had a chance to.
Funny.
It's funny. It's not personal. It's funny. I'm sorry if you jerk off all over your own stomach. I'm going to make fun of it a little bit.
This is like people that when you say somebody's name, you're like, oh, careful. I happen to be friends with them. And I'm like, shut up.
It's like, I'm hard pressed to imagine the stupid tourist bitch at Broadway Comedy Club is like this with Louis C.K. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, why are you mad?
Well, I was at my mom's place, and I told this on my podcast last week, the projector that I used, the PowerPoint presentation wasn't working. Their electronics weren't working. So I just had to like riff for 45 minutes at this place. It was awful. I didn't know what to do. And I started making fun of Jay Leno because I can't stand the guy. But who cares? I just mentioned Jay Leno is an ass, something like that. And these two people go, hey, these two 90-year-old people, we're from Andover, Massachusetts. We love him. And I'm like, whatever. Can't you see I'm in trouble here?
Oh, God. Assholes. You pissed off all two people in Andover, Massachusetts.
I know. And they were wearing their jackets. They were already leaving.
Oh, God.
It was that was a nightmare.
But that was the last straw, was you insulting Leno.
Apparently they have had it. What are you doing for the holidays?
Well, we survived Thanksgiving, so that was good. And then we'll do Goy Christmas in Albany, and then we'll come down and visit Mom until New Year's, and then come back up here. I'm just going to try not to max out my fucking cards. It's just that time of year where you just go broke trying to like square away the bills and get all the presents and shit
I
like
don't know what
that.
you're talking about, but I don't buy presents for anybody. No, I just got the card under my door for the doormen, and it used to cost me $1,000 to pay everybody. In New York City, it's the way it works, folks. Now they have lesser guys and they don't do anything. It's not like the old days where I would give everybody $100 to $150 because you really, and I talk about this every year, you got your money's worth in favors that they might do for you. Go to your apartment, pick something up and bring it, down or something, that kind of stuff. Now they're not allowed because this company took over. They're not allowed to do anything. So why am I even paying them anyway? But at least it's only $500 now, not $1,000.
All right.
Still, it's like, it's something you don't have to take into account in most other towns.
So the unions and the corporations won't let the mailman do you favors anymore, but at least you don't have to pay as much.
Well, I still have a couple guys that I can, give some money to, and they'll put up a painting or something, but they're not allowed to.
Oh, okay.
But it used to be, you could get serious favors. Like, you've lived here your whole life. You know how important it is to know the people at the door.
Oh, yeah.
People in the building
sure.
and the handyman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very important to keep them on your good side.
Yeah, you got to keep the super happy. Otherwise, your life's going to be miserable.
Right. Yeah, no, so that's paid off where I got a beautiful new refrigerator. It's probably, they wanted to get one from another apartment. And he took me around to the other apartments that were getting rid of the refrigerators. Like, what do you think of this one? What do you think of it? I'm like, I want something that keeps it really cold. And he got me a really good one. And
you're like, do you have something with a matted finish?
But yeah, no, I have a quality refrigerator, thank goodness, because it's very important.
When we first moved into this house, there was an old refrigerator that smelled bad when you opened it. And in the freezer door, it had an imprint, almost like if someone had punched.
Oh, my God.
And I was just like, okay, we need a new fridge. I'm already getting domestic abuse vibes from this house.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound good. I don't know what, first of all, I saw Wicked on Friday.
How was it?
Great.
Yes.
Do you like that kind of stuff? Or
no?
I could tell by your expressions, like you were being polite, and how was it? But I could see you want to have no interest in it whatsoever.
I'm like a Guys and Dolls theater kid. Where it's like if I was raised in the 50s or 60s, I would have been all about musicals, and now I'm just like, what the fuck?
Well, I was raised in the 70s and 80s, and I am all about musicals. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I'm actually singing at Don't Tell Mamas next month.
Oh,
or
nice.
This month. I'm sorry. I haven't decided what I'm going to sing yet, but probably something from Guys and Dolls.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I might sing Defying Gravity from Wicked. It's not that complicated.
but singing it as Paul Lynde.
Exactly. Well, that's why kids, I don't know what's wrong with these kids today. I don't mind the midnight swims. It's the loops that hurt. Anyway, that you can see that. Anyway, so I saw it, and it's doing so well, as you know, and that's only part one, which I did not know. I just sat through 3 hours, and that's just part one. Are you fucking kidding me?
So it's like the first act, or is there going to be a sequel? Or
there's next year. It comes out next November.
Okay.
So, I didn't know Jeff Goldblum played the Wizard. That was exciting because I talked to him for like an hour about 2 weeks ago or a month ago, and that was exciting that he's in this that he's still a movie star, still a true movie star. Anyway, it beat Grease as already as the highest grossing Broadway adaptation to a movie ever. Like Grease had held this all from 1978, and it just beat it already in its first couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
As the highest grossing box office from a Broadway adaptation of a musical.
I was confused for a hot second, thinking like, did they remake Grease? And I completely fucking missed it.
No, it held the title as there aren't a lot of musicals that like West Side Story, things like that, that really, really are popular. But yeah, Grease is the one. Grace is the word.
Grace is the word.
And yeah, so that was okay. But also, I don't know if you heard about Marshall Brickman, and he died 2
No.
days ago.
Oh,
Marshall
God.
Brickman, as Molly definitely knows, co-wrote Annie Hall and worked with Woody Allen for most of his movies. I mean, really, from Sleeper on. And what I didn't know about him, that he was a banjo player, and he's actually on the Dueling Banjos album from what's the not Gator, what's the movie?
Deliverance.
Thank you. Deliverance. I knew it's Burt Reynolds. Yeah, so he's actually on Dueling Banjos, which is that's a hell of a credit, and Annie Hall. Like, I mean, that's pretty impressive. And then he was also the head writer for the Tonight Show in the late 60s, and he invented Karnak the Magnificent.
Oh, wow.
Which Frank Santapadre did on our show 2 weeks ago. I called back with the baseball cards, and he was like, a bit. And yeah, how about this guy? He also wrote the musical Jersey Boys.
Oh, shit.
And the Addams Family musical. Not the music, obviously, but the book for these two things. So, boy, he was a really interesting guy. And boy, talk about a documentary. There you go.
How old was he?
85.
That's a good run.
So I think him and Woody Allen about the same age.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an incredible run, especially again, when you're working with Woody Allen, and the fact that he co-wrote Annie Hall, which is, Woody Allen never lets that happen.
You don't see his name in the writing credits.
What?
You don't see his name in the writing credits.
Oh, yes, you do.
You do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I thought it just says written and directed by.
No. This is the one movie. It says written by Woody Allen and Marshall Brickman.
Okay, so even Woody was like, okay, I'll give it up to you.
Yeah, no, I think it was him who it could have been as easy as coming up with, remember they were making Manhattan Murder Mysteries. That's Annie Hall. They're making Manhattan Murder Mysteries. And then they're like, we should just concentrate on your relationship. It's much funnier than what we're doing. And so they changed it around. And I think it was his idea that was like, what if we just concentrated on this? And they really had a collaboration. They said they did not write together because that kills writing, something like writing together, but I guess they wrote separately and compared notes. And obviously Woody had the jokes. Well, I don't know. This guy was the head writer of the Tonight Show. He must have had jokes too. So I guess that movie is, I just showed it to my romantic comedy class. I'm like, if you want, I showed them, I think I told you this last time, I showed them this and The Goodbye Girl.
I love The Goodbye Girl.
You're talking about two really different types of romantic comedies. You have they're both romantic comedies and both true romantic comedies, but one is just jokey, and the other one's a true romantic comedy. That not every line is a joke, even written by Neil Simon, though, another, television writer who was into playwriting just like Woody Allen and stuff. So fascinating. 1977. And that, hi, Aunt Judy. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. What'd you do for Thanksgiving, Aunt Judy? I think we invited her over. Anyway, did you have your Thanksgiving at home, or did you go somewhere else?
Who, me? We went to go visit the family.
Why do you got to keep doing that?
We got to keep doing. Well, we did his family. We did it extra this year because it's been a tough year and there's been some illnesses, so we wanted to spend a little extra time. And also, Mom doesn't do food holidays. It's no fun to go down and celebrate Thanksgiving with an anorexic. It's just not worth the trouble.
How's her play going?
It's good. They're gonna have a reading. I think they're having the reading tomorrow, actually, with some of the actors from London.
Here in the city?
Yeah. So they're going to read it through, and she was doing some interviews. She was doing a BBC interview the other night and sort of joking around of like, oh, I tried to show Clueless to my granddaughter, but all she wants to watch is Pokemon. And it's like, it's like a charming story, but it's also like, we tried to show Harper Clueless when she was 5. She's not going to get the jokes. You know what I mean? Let's show her now and see.
How old is she now?
Now she's 10. So about the age I was when it came out.
I'd wait 2 more years. because we don't want her to dislike it.
Right.
Can't have it.
We want her to get it. I only recently showed them Spaceballs, and they were finally into Spaceballs.
They liked it?
Yeah, they liked it.
I guess that makes sense.
Rosie really likes the Michael Winslow bit of him doing the sound effects.
So do I. So I never liked that movie. I worshipped Mel Brooks. And the more, I came in around High Anxiety. I thought it was the funniest movie I'd ever seen. And then, of course, he did History of the World, which I thought was good, but not as good as High Anxiety. And then he did Spaceballs, which was okay, but not as good. So it just kept always going downhill for me. And Spaceballs, for me, at the age I was when it came out, which is in my 20s, after college, saying he's late. I think it was 88, so it was like way up, like maybe I was 26, something like that. He's 10 years too late for this Star Wars takeoff. So when we were there, we didn't like it that much, although the cast, with Rick Moranis and everything was exactly what I wanted, and John Candy, it just wasn't good. But then anyone I've ever spoken to that is at least 10 to 15 years younger than me, they all saw it at the right age, which would be 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And then it's probably the funniest movie ever.
Yeah, because if you're introduced, because like Mel Brooks started off doing stuff that was more original, like The Producers and High Anxiety, and then, started leaning more into parodic stuff like after Young Frankenstein. I think he realized that was a formula that worked really well and he enjoyed it. And if you're a little kid and you don't really have a matured sense of humor, but you understand the references, like Spaceballs and Men in Tights is a great place to start because they're just sort of silly. And that it's just a parody of something that already exists. And then when you're older, you watch Blazing Saddles and you're like, holy fuck.
I forgot about Men in Tights, which is the same thing. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And there's a couple laugh out loud moments. Again, when we're older and waiting for the next Mel Brooks movie, because we've seen the others, just wasn't good enough. But again, if I was 8 or 10, I'm positive I would like all of them and probably would have thought Men in Tights was hilarious because I loved his one that he based it on, which was the television show When Things Were Rotten with Dick Gaudier.
I never saw that.
Well, nobody did. I was the only one who knows about it. I mean, there were like 8 episodes and I loved it because it was a television series like Get Smart, but for Robin Hood. And I love the theme song. I can remember my entire life. When things were rotten. I used to play it on my bike when I was delivering papers. I had a tape recorder and I'd record it off the TV. It was just, he makes such good songs, such good theme songs, with Get Smart and everything. And if that's
he's a great songwriter.
Yeah. Anonymous just said she played tennis with Anne Bancroft.
I love her too. I was just watching The Pumpkin Eater and it's just her looking depressed and gorgeous for like 2 hours.
I don't know that.
It's her and she's married to Peter Finch and he's fucking around on her and she's got like 1 billion kids from a previous marriage. And then, is forced to get like a hysterectomy, like every depressed woman in the 1960s.
What year did that?
Probably, I want to say like mid 60s. I would have to look it up to be sure. But I mean, it's not it's not a laugh riot movie. It's dramatic, but I mean, she's amazing.
Oh. Well, she is amazing.
And I know that Mel, I think, because I met his older son, Ed Brooks, was like a friend of a friend that came to one of my band's shows once. And he seemed kind of bitter because I think Mel always really favored his son, Max, that he had with Anne.
Oh, because that's the one I hear about. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
he had another son.
Yeah. So like Max Brooks gets all the recognition and praise. And then meanwhile, Ed Brooks is just off somewhere being like, I look like him too.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Still, though, exciting to have met him.
Yeah, even if he's your father.
So anyway, so I'm just saying I didn't know he had another son either. Yeah. Okay, so
it's 1964. Sorry, Pumpkin Eater, and it's 1964.
Well, that was before my time. Thank God. Thank God. Finally, something came in before my time. It was close.
I know you were going to lose sleep over that one, so I just wanted to clarify.
I'd forgotten about it already. I was moving on. But let's, Mike, why don't we do football? Okay.
All righty.
Okay.
1 second. Sorry.
Right. That's okay. I'm sharing my screen. Yes. This was last week. We had Wayne Fetterman on. Do you know him, Molly?
He's a football person. No, I'm just
he's
kidding.
a comic. He's a really great comic. Wrote a book on the history of stand-up comedy, which is terrific. He's a professor at USC. He's also an actor. In fact, he is in Legally Blonde. He's the one that fights for Elle Woods to get into Harvard Law.
Oh, okay.
It's a small scene, but it's like it's very important.
Pivotal.
Well, she does have a 4.0. Anyway, he was terrific. He's a professor at USC, so it's fun talking to him about movies and things like that. He actually recommended, folks, I did see it, My Old Ass with Aubrey Plaza. Have you heard about it?
I haven't, no, but I love her.
He recommended that last week, and I watched it as soon as we got off the air, and it's terrific. It's a really interesting, something I didn't think it was going to be, and then it was really, really good. Really good.
I have to check it out.
So, yeah. Anyway, I did very well in these particular picks. Mike did horribly, yet he did really good in the regular picks. Our celebrity Wayne did okay, and you guys did pretty good. All right, I can never remember whether I have to stop sharing or not, so I will go and share again.
I was just looking at the photos. Is that Taylor Swift in one of the?
Yes,
okay.
I have her when we bet on the Chiefs. Mike, I'm sharing again.
Mm-hmm.
This is our regular thing where I am winning. Yeah, Mike went 11-5. Just the ones we picked, he lost.
Yeah.
But he had a great week. I had an okay week, and you guys stunk, and Nick didn't do very well. So that's the story with that. Now I'm stopping sharing again. And now I will bring up where we will make our picks.
You've been nailing these picks, I feel like.
Well, we've been mailing the Mr. Pick, which I will talk about in a second.
Okay.
Now, you can see this, correct?
Yes.
All right. We will pick the 5 games this week. Oh, Mike, take a note of, I forgot to write that down. Who's on bye this week? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Write that down while I'm doing this so we know. If you can read it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start with Thursday night's game, the Lions against the Packers. I got to tell you, in my pool, I just picked Green Bay. That's plus 3.5. The Lions had trouble with the Bears. They would have lost on Thursday on Thanksgiving if they didn't get, the Bears were so horrible that they fired their coach the next day on the last play. He had it coming. He was an idiot. I mean, really, just like it was the stupidest thing. You just needed to kick a field goal. He ran out of time.
Oh, God.
And he had a timeout. So everybody was confused, and you deserve to lose your job for that.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing you have to do as a coach. So, Molly, what do you think? The Green Bay Packers or the Detroit Lions?
Well, I always live an underdog, so I'm going to go with the Lions.
The Lions aren't an underdog. They're favored.
Oh, they're favored.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the Lions anyway.
Okay, they've only lost one
I
game.
like Lions. Right. Yeah.
Well,
you said they almost lost the last time over Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, they play on Thanksgiving Day, and they got lucky. They should have lost.
That'll make them like, okay, that was a close one, so we better make sure to be on point next time.
That's true. That's what I thought all this year, and that hasn't happened. Mike, your thought?
I was gonna go with the Lions as well.
And what about the chat room?
They're still split.
They're split, so we'll wait on that. He'll come back. I don't know why
they're going Packers.
They're going Packers. So I don't know why I'm picking it was fun to pick the Jets at the beginning of this. Is fucking stupid. I just bet against them because it's an easy win. I have no problem taking the Dolphins. Molly, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins too.
Yeah, just bet against the Jets and you'll win every time. It's been working like a charm. Mike?
Yeah, Dolphins. I mean, they suck too, but
yeah, they do. They do. I think they got crushed last week, right? No, or
Yeah.
did they? Yeah, they got crushed, right? Miami 2017, Anonymous says, little Billy Joel action there. So we'll pick that. Yeah, everybody's picking Miami. Okay. So, all right. Then we have the Buffalo Bills. Those are Buffalo Wings I have there on the side. And Jack
Nice.
Nicholson for the LA Rams. After what I saw Buffalo do to San Francisco in the snow, did you watch the game Sunday night, Molly, or did you hear about it?
I didn't. No, what happened?
Play in the snow. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a big snow game, and this Josh Allen was incredible. He threw a pass to a guy, and he was getting stopped. He threw it, he tossed it back to him, and then Josh Allen, the quarterback, ran in for a touchdown. It was incredible. I'm totally going to Bills, even though I like the Rams normally. I'm taking the Bills -4 points. Molly, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Jack Nicholson fuckboys, the Rams.
Nice. Mike?
I am going with the Rams as well. The Chad is going with the Bills.
All right. And then we have the Taylor Swift Kansas City Chiefs. This is big Sunday night, and that's the Chargers. Do you see who's on the left-hand side of that? I don't think you can make it out.
I can't.
It's Tony Roberts from Annie Hall. Twins.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine the multiple possibilities? You've got to come to LA. There's no crime. There's no garbage. Because they turn their garbage into television shows. Oh, give us a break, Max. We're all invited to a big Christmas party at Tony Lacey's.
I love that Woody always finds a way to tell on himself in his own movies, whether it's his character or someone else. He's just like, twins, Max, 16-year-olds. Like, what
Can
the
you imagine
fuck?
the multiple possibilities, the mathematical possibilities of that? I know. Yeah, no, and that line is bad now. Really bad.
Men are gonna men. I just,
There you go. Molly, what do you think? The Chiefs or the Chargers? I picked the Chargers. Plus,
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's hard to go against them, but they keep winning games by a point or two. That it's really weird. They're so due for a loss.
I'm so sucking at supporting the underdogs after I said that.
Oh, that's
like
all
that they
right.
win, fine, I'll take them.
Mike, what do you think?
Oof. I think the Chargers and the Chats going Chiefs.
Jets going Chiefs. That's the right move. And finally, this game was supposed to be flexed because it's so horrible, but they can't flex it. Flex meaning they were supposed to exchange it for a different game, which you could do Sunday and Monday nights, Molly, because they're both have no playoff indications. They both have won like 4 games, but they can't because apparently the Simpsons are doing something cartoonish with this game on Disney Plus. So I don't know what that means, but I know that that's what I'd like to watch next week.
The Simpsons?
Yeah. Well, the Simpsons are doing something with the game. They're making it into a Simpsons live feed or something. I don't know. All I know is that's why they couldn't flex it.
Toy Story before?
What'd you say?
Apparently they did something like that with Toy Story before.
I believe you're right.
It's like an AI overlay to the game.
Exactly. It's something like that, Molly. So
yeah, they're
sounds
gonna
like
AI.
fun.
They're gonna AI Homer into
I might stay home for that and not go to Wings that night. So anyway, we have the Dallas Cowboys who stink and the Bengals who are great, which I'm taking even though they're -5.5, but they can't seem to, they have no defense. So I'm taking the Bengals because they've been playing great. They just keep losing. What do you think, Molly?
I want to go with the Bengals, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys because I never underestimate a bunch of white guys' ability to like fuck up my plans. So.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. Okay,
Sorry.
that's the smartest thing I've ever heard. Maybe I should change my pick.
Sorry.
Mike?
I'm going to go with the Cowboys as well.
And what is the chat saying? We should go with Marcy. Yeah. Our friend Marcy is from technically Cincinnati. From Kentucky, but we let it go. And those are our picks for week 14 in the league where they play for pay. All right.
They get concussed for pay.
That's right. All right. Now.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the plan for?
Yeah, they look like this or something weird.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I would watch a game like that. Yeah. All right. Let me explain the missed a pick and what's happening. Now everybody's talking about in the chat room that we technically lost, but it was incredible. Mike, did you watch the game?
No, I did not.
There's so many things I have to talk to you about this game. Now, Wayne Fetterman picked the Panthers last week, the number 8 card, but he really wanted to pick one, which was weird because one also won last night in the Broncos. So there was no way for us to lose. But the Panthers is a horrible team, and they were playing this other team. So winning was a really tough, it was a tough ask. But we're counting it as a win because they totally covered the spread. And I don't think we ever said that they were going to beat
You've always said it had to be the spread.
So there will be, I mean, anybody that would go with our Mr. Pick would bet on the spread. So anybody who bet with us, again, won. Okay? So we will say we are still undefeated with maybe a tiny asterisk on week 13, but a tiny asterisk because it's technically a win. And Mike, I don't know whether you saw that game, but it was incredible. They're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're very, very good. They are going to the playoffs probably. And the Panthers stink. They've won like 2 games. And their quarterback they've been making fun of him and he's a troublemaker and all this kind of stuff, but he's playing better lately. So at the end of the game, he ties it up with 30 seconds left. And then the Tampa Bay is running down and their kicker, I think, missed it. And it goes into overtime. My heart is going incredible. Right. No, they with 30 seconds left, Tampa Bay tied it up. My heart's going crazy. I'm already making excuses, whatever. But I'm like, well, yeah, maybe Scruffy, but we did win. So anyway, they go into overtime and the guy misses a field goal again. It was right there. But when I left, I'm saying I'm counting it as a win. The point spread was 6 or 6.5. They lost only by 3. So that is a win. Mike, wouldn't you say that is a win?
It's a win in our hearts for sure.
No, come on. That's a win.
That's a win. It's a win. You'd get paid.
It's a win if I'm tagging bar stools and places like that. We're talking about degenerate gambling. What was that?
That was my cell phone. Sorry.
What's going on? What do you have?
Someone
other
was
friends?
trying to. No, it's spam.
What, you already got a date? Well, you can bring them. That's from Ghostbusters. Oh, you already got a date? Well, you can bring them. Well, that's why I'm having a party for my clients instead of friends. Makes a lot of business sense.
That's why I like Ghostbusters too, is just to see Annie Potts and Rick Moranis. Like, oh, these two are gonna smash. Okay, nice resolution for this storyline.
That's right.
Yeah,
as she calls it in the interviews, nerd love.
Nerd love. That's cute.
Okay, so here we are, week 14, sticking with undefeated. Molly, here's the unopened pack of new cards. Even though you can't see it when I'm taking the scissor, maybe I'll keep it up this whole time if you want. It doesn't really matter. We're choosing one anyway. We put it out the week before. What's the difference? Let's assume that it's an unopened pack. So you need to pick a number, Molly Heckerling, from 1 to 8. And you can include 1 or 8 in those numbers. So pick a number between 1 and 8.
I'm going to go with 8.
Damn it.
I like the number 8. I'm sorry.
Mike, what is happening?
Why is everyone choosing 8?
No, well,
yeah, a lot of people choose 8.
And sometimes we found out, thank God, that sometimes the 8th card is a double pick. So I have to pick 2.
Oh, do you want me to split it? Then I could do 2.
No, this is exactly what happened last week.
Okay.
No, and you saw what happened at the end. I'm using scissors to cut it because apparently I am too incompetent to do it any other way. And Mike, remember, have the list. If it's a bye week, we have to go to the Halloween deck. Yeah. All unopened. Here we go. All right. I'm going to count the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have
Sailor Moon.
Did you say Sailor Moon?
Yeah. I'm looking at.
I have to read what it is. It's Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, everybody. I like this game. I think they're definitely playing.
Yeah.
They're playing the Seahawks, a little revenge game. So this week, we are taking the Arizona Cardinals, this time to win. Although I don't know whether they're underdogs or not, but to win at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Thanks to Molly Heckerling's number 8 pick.
A revenge game is good. A good revenge game, when you're mad.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that is our Mr. Pick for Week 14. The Arizona Cardinals, picked by the great Molly Heckerling.
And they are picked to win.
The what?
They are picked to win by 2.5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait. What
Arizona?
changed in the?
I zoomed it back in because we.
Where was I before?
Bloop.
Oh, oh, that's brilliant. Should we do it again? No, cool. All right.
I wanted to say before, I love how you should go into politics, because the way you died on the hill of the technicalities of the last one, of like whether you won or lost.
Well, again, anybody who's following us would be a degenerate gambler, so they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be another boo-boo. Scruffy, if we lose, we lose. This time we lose, we lose. They're favored by 2.5 points. If they only won by 1, I would consider that, well, no, that would be a win. Right, we don't need to cover this, but they have to win the game. This time they have to win the game. It's weird because this was only like our second or third pick that I think was an underdog, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, who cares? We're all in, and that's the important thing. My goodness, it's late already. Let's get to the slides. Play the tape, because you're going to like these. I got some good ones today.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so excited.
All right, I'm sharing, Mike. And here we are with the first slide. As you can see, that is our
Hunter
president.
Biden.
Is that who it is? He's still our president. People forget.
I was talking about the turkey.
Oh. Well, this is, of course, the annual turkey pardon. This is his running mate. Now that Kamala is not, doesn't want to be on camera. So what he does is he pardons. This was, I think it's peach and pear. No, peach and pear. I think he pardoned. And this was, this is last year when he pardoned Liberty. But I like that the turkey is giving the conference as well. And not only that, in the year, this is Peach actually speaking out and saying, now, here's the way I look at Thanksgiving. I mean, it really looks like she's giving the speech. And why wouldn't she? Because here he is actually holding up. This was chocolate and chip from last year, where he's actually giving the mic. So they do make a speech that they're pardoned. I appreciate this pardon, and I wish all my turkey fellow animals are also pardoned as well. That turkey wasn't fitting in any oven. Well, that's true. That is quite a plump turkey.
Well, it's got all its clothes on.
But I think it's peach and plum. I'm saying peach and pear because I was peach and blossom. That's who it is. Okay. Peach and blossom got pardoned. He pardons 2 turkeys a year. Like they're not going to be eaten next year. But so peach and blossom. I was thinking of peach and pear.
Okay.
Do you know what movie this is from?
No, I don't.
Oh, you're not.
But it reminds me of Flora and Fauna from the Addams Family, the other twins.
Oh, yeah. No, this is, you're just not as gay as I am. This is from the movie What a Girl Wants, the Amanda Bynes classic, where she, nobody wanted to talk to Peach and Pear. And then she started a big dance with them. And, because nobody was talking to her at the debutante ball, just like in Sydney White, just like in all of her movies, but she rises to the occasion. That's what Amanda Bynes does.
I was never an Amanda Bynes fan, and now all I want to do is give that woman a hug.
Why? Why? Because she looks like this? Is that what you mean?
It's been a lot, I'm sure.
I worshipped Amanda Bynes. I've seen everything she's in. I don't understand how this happens. How
Dan Snyder,
so
that's how it happens.
Pretty and fun and gorgeous. And what the fuck?
Like you get traumatized enough when you're too young, and then it's like you know how when people say if you peak early, you peak too soon, and then all of a sudden it's like what the fuck happened, and then you get a face tattoo and everything goes to shit.
I know, but I mean, look, it didn't happen to me. I'm still the joyful self. That's me.
Well, you age like a fine wine. We can't
well, I'm
all
just-
be Dave Juskow.
I am the crotchety old man there in the back. I hate music. That was last New Year's. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, stop playing. It's a classic photo, but no, it's just that.
Hmm.
But you know, it's just weird. She looks like this, but I mean, this was when she did Easy A with
Right.
the soon-to-be Oscar-winning
Emma
you know,
Stone.
Emma Stone. This was later in her career, so I really thought she was going to make it because she got rid of the childish stuff, and she was in this movie just being a supporting role, not being the lead. And usually, when somebody does that, like a Jack Nicholson or Gene Hackman, and they move to the supporting roles, it really their career could last forever. I really, and she was really good in this movie as the villain, you know. And I feel bad for her too.
It's different for men. And I also feel like if you're an Amanda Bynes or a Britney Spears or somebody that was like young and fetishized for being like young and cute and fuckable for a time, like the second you turn 18, it's like such an uphill climb. Like people are just sort of done with you.
Well, I was not done with her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's bring her back.
I watched everything. I watched that stupid show she had with Jenny Garth. I've seen everything she was in. I mean, it's just like I don't know why I was obsessed.
She just needs some hugs and therapy and, you know, and
I'll tell you the real reason, guys. Go back to the last picture. Right there. Chocolate chip cookies, 2 for $1.
Oh, well, you're absolutely right, Mike. There it is. You got it exactly right. That's not going to help.
See, this also is something that I like to think about when because society wants everyone to have a little nose and a round face, super cute button look.
Yeah,
And
that's right, Molly. That's why I had plastic surgery.
no, but
as
you get older, see, like I feel like I look young-ish for my age because everything's like hanging off the cheekbones and the nose. Like you need bone structure for your face to hold on to. Because if you just have a pie face and a small nose, you're going to get jowly really quickly. There's nothing to hang on to.
That's a good way of putting it. But it's not. Meanwhile, that drink looks incredible, and I want one of those right now. But this is the way Dave Juskow eats. But you know, she shouldn't be doing that. But
It's a meal.
That's what you eat out of depression. I understand that. This was in the Philippines. This is a home burning in the Philippines, and it's just kind of it's funny only because last week we were showing that they were devastated by flooding and water, and the kids were playing in the water, and now their houses are burning as well. That's when God is telling you, I think you're a bit much. Like he's had it with the Philippines. Like fire now too, for real. I mean, that's fucked up. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but what's happening all over the world? This is a fucking volcano in Iceland. Look, you don't want to be that guy in the car over there. Like it's coming right at us.
Honey, look, our picture's in the paper.
Oh my God. The earth is falling apart, but we know that, or at least Biden knew it. And now it's going to be, now we got 4 years to ruin some more of it. Somebody's going to have to bring it back. Anyway.
I love that you blame the Philippines, though. Like, God's just had it with the Philippines.
It clearly
and now he's taking it out on everyone.
We're showing how they're all flooded, and then there's a fire. How's that even possible? So this is Notre Dame, you know, that remember the cathedral burned, also fire, and now they say it's opening soon, but it certainly doesn't look like it. It says it's opening like next week. It doesn't look like it's ready to open.
It looks like a water park before they turn the hoses on.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it looks all fucked up. But I can't deny I would like to go there someday, I suppose. And this is that stupid Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade that everybody knows Dave Juskow hates. But if he was mayor or Manhattan Borough president, he would keep, knowing full well how important. JWB 671 just said they just had an earthquake in Hawaii.
Oh my God.
That's right now, JWB?
Or are they just competing with the Philippines?
I think he's trying to compete with everything I'm talking about.
We just had an earthquake and a parade.
Did you watch the parade?
No,
watched
no. They
This
were
is why you
watching
left town.
They were watching the Westminster talk show instead.
That's oh, but that was after. I was watching that too.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
got because we were traveling, I guess, during the parade.
But look at
We didn't get to see.
the horrible weather. People are idiots. This was when they should have had the parade the day before. You see how beautiful it is when they inflate. You ever watch the inflation of the balloons? You live right by there, so you probably went over there all the time.
The kids weren't super into it, and I don't like
No.
crowds.
When
Oh,
you
you're
were
talking
a
to?
kid.
Oh, me? I went. Well, I didn't grow up in New York. I grew up in LA. We went once when I was little to the
wow.
actual parade when my mom was briefly dating Ron Zimmerman. And it was so cold, even I was just like, I want to go inside. Fuck this.
Yeah.
I don't like
No,
it.
going to the parade stinks, but before everybody knew about the blowing up the balloons, it was fun to go to because it was it wasn't a thing. There wasn't security. You could really just go in the middle of the night. It was super fun. And now everybody found out about it and it got ruined.
I like the pictures where it looks like, giant Snoopy is eating Spider-Man's ass or something.
Yeah, well, that's what's happening right here in this picture.
That's funny.
So I don't even know half of the balloons anymore. Have you ever heard of Monkey D. Luffy? How the hell do you know who it is?
Because I know who it is.
This one's new to me, and I have kids.
Yeah, who is it, Mike?
It's from One Piece. It's like the #1 show in the world.
It is?
Yeah.
It's the #1. What's it called? One Piece?
Yeah.
Well,
so it's about a kid who goes around fisting people in a boater.
I mean,
it's
that's like
pirates.
Okay.
What is that? And then see, this is from 1927. Now I know who Felix the Cat is. So,
who's
that guy in the background?
And that's one
who's Pants Cat right there.
Yeah, that's nobody. That's just one. They were like, we need some more balloons. Let's just put a mustache.
Well, that's Theodore Roosevelt.
That's from 1927. So you got to appreciate the history of the parade. I do like that. And this is my favorite one. I think the Spider-Man float is really, really cool. I just hate it. Looks so stupid in the weather. But this was the Jew one, where if you were sitting there going like, it's somebody's nose. This guy's got too big a nose for a float. It's too Jewy. It's diarrhea.
Is that the wimpy
kid? Yeah.
Wimpy kid. Yeah. That's Jewy too. We're very wimpy.
Exactly. Who needs that?
Except the IDF.
The reason why I have this one up, nobody cares. Like, first of all, does anybody even know who Smokey the Bear is anymore?
Well, the Philippines could have used him.
Exactly.
Oh my God. That would have changed everything.
Aunt Judy said that Felix the Cat's even before her time. But
where are the Heckle and Jekyll balloons?
On the wrong side of history.
Anyway, yes. The reason why I'm showing this one is because this is exactly where my parking garage is and why I can't leave the city, why I have to park my car in a different area on Thanksgiving Day when I'm driving because because the Smokey the fucking Bear is going down the street and I can't get my car out. Sorry.
He looks like he's holding a massive joint.
I always thought it was a baseball bat, but then, oh no, what is it? It's a hammer. What does that have to do with forest fires?
It's a shovel.
Oh, but what does that have to do with forest fires?
It's gonna beat them to death with a shovel.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right.
Yeah. You're supposed to smother your fire or some crap.
Now they just call him Smokey Bear, not Smokey the Bear.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, this was fucking. I hate marching bands, but this was my niece's school. So I thought, like, well, that's probably the people that, like, if you know somebody in it, but otherwise marching bands are awful. This parade sucks. And if to make it any worse, these asshole pro-Palestine people are ruining it for everyone. This is right by my fucking parking garage. I swear to God, it would be my pleasure to mow them all down. Fuck you.
I was responding to the Ronald McDonald, but the protesters, it's like, it's an awful parade. How do you ruin something that's already annoying?
Yeah, I know, but they're ruining it. But ruining everybody's good time. I mean, ruining everybody's good time. Free Palestine. You guys just don't get it. This is the sister of Kitty Menendez, from the Menendez brothers, the one that was killed by the brothers, who she says her sister used to tell them of the abuse the boys were getting. She's saying they should be released. Her sister was killed. And she says they found letters that the father also was raping some of the members of Menudo. which is
Oh,
hilarious. I don't
God.
know why. Sorry.
Jesus.
I don't know why. The fact that Menudo's involved with a trial makes me laugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, real quick before you go to the next one, Marcy sent this.
Oh,
What?
cute.
I can't see it. Wait. Oh, that's Is that Marcy?
I
What's
believe
going on
so.
with your kids?
They're having a meltdown because I'm not with them for 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, just a couple more seconds. Marcy
Sorry.
ruined everything. I'm so sorry,
No,
Molly. I mean,
she just
Marcy.
said
Damn you,
By that
Marcy.
picture,
proved
just
it was a
wasted.
shovel.
Marcy, keep my children under control.
These are New Zealand rugby players that apparently do a haka dance before, like, to intimidate these guys that don't look intimidated at all. The other Italian players. I mean, they're like, really? I mean, it's right out of it's that. That's all it is. Look at what they're doing. The exact same. How is that intimidating to the other team? Why are they even
Well, their
allowed to
thigh
do that?
muscles are activated, so
Well, that's true. This was the 2005 version. Same thing. And this finally is the last picture. These are middle school students in the Sudan taking their end of the year exams. And this is exactly what I'll be looking like in 2 Thursdays in the exact same situation. No, can you fucking even imagine? I'd be sitting in that classroom like, why am I taking this exam? Why are we taking exams? This place stinks. We have to come out with a plot to get out of here. Your kids are driving me crazy, Molly. You're driving me crazy.
I'm like, should I just let her in?
Yeah, let her in.
Fuck.
Let her in. It's over. Let her in. Let's see.
It's over. I'll just
No. Tell her to come in. I want to see what I haven't seen her in like 2 years.
You want to see her? Hang
Yeah.
on.
Mrs. Harper? Oh, we'll never know.
Jay?
I know she has 2 kids.
Jay?
No, I'm sorry. I went to that school.
Yeah.
She can come up.
I like not talking, just waiting for her to come back.
They want to see you.
Kids. I don't know what's wrong with these kids today. Oh, I want now. Can I see that picture of Marcy with Smokey again? Actually, she really looks cute.
Okay.
That's good.
They're gonna be done.
Good, Marcy.
Gonna be done in 1 second. Oh, here's a kid.
Hi.
You want to put on the headphones and say hi?
Hi. Are you? Is this Harper? Or
This is Rosie.
Oh, Rosie, I'm sorry. I met you I guess maybe 2 years ago now. You were really young.
Yeah.
In New York City. Yeah.
Yeah, but my mommy ordered me a Wiggly tester for the Iggly Buff.
Now you get to hear about the Pokemon instead of
I was gonna say,
Clueless.
so yeah, Rosie, that leads me to my question. What do you want for Christmas or Hanukkah?
What do you want for Christmas?
I really want Fisher Cat family, a chocolate Labrador family, and a Sophia stuffy. Oh, look at
Can you explain these things?
And a
Oh,
sky
they're still going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I want those stuff.
Hang on, I'm going to take this back now. We're almost done. It would be easier to ask her what she doesn't want. That's a shorter list.
Catalina says she looks exactly like you, Molly.
She does. She looks a lot like both of us.
What did she
this
say?
one
She
looks
wanted
more like
something
me.
chocolate?
She wants it's a calico critters, and they have all these different animal families. So there's chocolate Labrador family, this family, that family.
Say something Pokemon related.
She wants all the Pokemon, all the calico critters. They've got enough toys here to start a whole damn menagerie. So she's not hurting for anything.
Oh, the Fisher Cat's the one with the gray stripes, right?
Yes. See, he knows.
How does he know all this stuff?
Mike knows all the cool kids.
Oh, I don't know the calico critter, but I know what a Fisher Cat is.
He knows the Fisher Cat, and he knows that monkey D. Flory. What is that from One Piece?
Yeah, Monkey D. Lori. Yes, exactly.
Hear it?
Yes, Monkey D. Luffy from One
Yeah, wait.
Piece.
Let's see if Rosie knows. Rosie, do you know what's the name, Mike?
One Piece.
No, the name of the
monkey.
Do you know One Piece? It's a monkey characters on something.
Yeah.
You do?
What's
know One
the name
Piece?
of the monkey?
I don't know.
She's just playing along. She doesn't know.
On the show. The guy's name is just Monkey D. Luffy.
What's your favorite show to watch on TV?
Oh,
My turn,
hang on.
please.
What's your? They want to know what your favorite show to watch on
My
TV
turn.
is.
Last we have a turn.
What's your favorite show
Uh,
besides Dave Juskow's show?
yeah,
Right.
but I really like I really like the Bluey.
You like Bluey?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
of course. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that. Do you have you seen The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
You like that movie?
Yeah.
Do you like Bert Lahr?
But why?
I'm more of a Ray
Yeah,
Bolger
but
man
why?
myself, right?
The Cowardly Lion. She likes Frank Nelson. Can you do Frank Nelson?
This is like talking to Frank Santapadre. You know, they have that great story of Ray Bolger told that story. Bert Lahr taking off that costume. He's like, "Oh, this costume, he weighed like 100 pounds." When he came out of it, the smell out of that costume.
We can't hear you.
We're not saying anything of importance. Molly, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to
Thanks
just
for
talk
having
about
us.
next week, but you can go. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Rosie,
We're gonna
Molly,
go.
thank you so much for joining us today. Merry
You wanna say
Christmas
goodbye?
to you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank
And
you.
I'll
We'll
see you when
see
you
you
come to New
later.
York. I'll definitely
Okay.
see you.
Yeah. We'll
Thanks
text you.
for
We'll do some
joining us
diner
today, and
time.
thanks for making the Mr. Pick for us.
Oh, no worries. I hope it works
That kid
out.
is the most adorable kid I've ever seen. So that is a
Thank
fact.
you. All right.
Yeah.
I'll see you later. Thanks for
Okay.
having me.
Bye, Molly.
Thanks,
Bye.
Molly.
Molly Heckerling, everybody. The Comedy Cellar Tuesdays, Comedy Cellar Tuesdays with Dave Jusko. Yeah. So next week we are in the studio with Dave Attell, Russ Maneva, and Nick Griffin. It will be also part of my 500th episode for Juskow in the City. So if you want to zoom in with us, Mike will have a plan in the chat room. So Marcy is not allowed. I'm sorry, Marcy. We love you, but there's just too much going on at your house. Mike, I was going to say, I have a strict order. Anybody opens a screen door that's on the air, you cut them off. I'm just making fun of Mars, but yeah, trying to have your TVs off or whatever, or dogs barking. But well, actually, we like dogs. But anyway, of course, Catalina, yeah, definitely zoom in, please. Definitely zoom in. Everybody, please come on. Well, you can talk to Dave and me and Russ, and hopefully that's going to work out. I mean, Dave's the only other factor. The other two guys will definitely be there. But whether he comes and goes to get a cigarette break or whatever, we will be here. And it'll be so much fun. And that'll be our finale, our season finale for Comedy Cellar Tuesdays. And we'll come back in 2025. No, Marcy, you've never been banished. I'm just making fun because let's face it, last time you were a disaster. I mean, when first, Mike, right? It was all the noise going on, the TV, then the typing. Remember, you hear everything she does. I talked to her on the phone like that. It's like that. So it's like, why would it not be on that? So
She had a lot going on.
yeah. So Mike, have a safe trip back into the city, and everybody have such a wonderful week. If you're in the city, please come down to the Comedy Cellar. It's terrific. Oh, Mike, where are you going to be this week?
This weekend, I'll be at the station in San Antonio.
Cool. I will not be doing anything. I'll be in Hoboken tomorrow. That's about it. And I'm on a little vacation myself. So otherwise, I'll see you all next Tuesday, and we'll have a really good seasonal Christmas fun time next week. So we'll see everybody next time. Good night.